It's not yet clear that they're going to have to use it. The fact that
he drones on and on, so the reporters can't get to him,
appear
even
ready
if they
to make
wanted
concessions, means that even if they ended up having to go through some sort of bankruptcy, it would be a very quick type of bankruptcy, and they could continue operating and emerge on the other side in a much stronger position. So my goal is to make sure that we've got a strong, viable, competitive auto industry. I think some tough choices are being made. There's no denying that there's significant hardship involved, particularly for the workers and the families.
No, particularly for the taxpayers. We're going to have to suck all this up.
Whatever plan is in place to make sure that the federal government is providing as much assistance as we have to ensure that people are landing back on their feet, even as we strengthen these core businesses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Jake. Where's Jake? There he is.
Thank you, Mr. President. You've said in the past that waterboarding, in your opinion, is torture. And torture is a violation of international law and the Geneva Conventions. Do you believe that the previous administration sanctioned torture?
What I've said, and I will repeat, is that waterboarding violates our ideals and our values. I do believe that it is torture. I don't think that's just my opinion. That's the opinion of many who've examined the topic.
You know what?
And that's why I put an end to these practices.
Yeah, no class whatsoever.
I'm absolutely convinced it was the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see, won't we?
Not because there might not have been information that was yielded by these various detainees who were subjected to this treatment, but because we could have gotten this information in other ways.
No,
in ways that were consistent with our values.
Yeah, listening to your press conference.
With who we are. I was struck by an article that I was reading the other day talking about the fact that the British, during World War II, when London was being bombed to smithereens, had 200 or so detainees. And Churchill said, "We don't torture." When
neither do we. Waterboarding's, I'm sick and tired of this guy saying to the whole world that we torture. We don't torture, and waterboarding's not torture. Now stop undermining this country. Go.
And the reason was that Churchill understood you start taking shortcuts, and over time,
now he cites Churchill.
Corrodes what's best in a people. It corrodes the character of a country.
Get off it.
And so I strongly
get off
believe
your
that,
soapbox.
The steps that we've taken to prevent these kinds of enhanced interrogation
it's more moral to have planes flying into Los Angeles. Now, that's who we are, right, ladies and gentlemen?
Over the long term. Because it will put us in a position where we can still get information. In some cases, it may be harder.
No, in some cases, it may not be at all.
I think still
a man of inexperience and immaturity, an ideologue.
We are willing to hold true to our ideals even when it's hard, not just when it's easy. At the same time, it takes away a critical recruitment tool that Al-Qaeda and other terrorist organizations have used.
They're recruiting them over waterboarding.
The United States and justify.
Hey, Mohammed, join Al-Qaeda. They're waterboarding us over there. Oh, okay, I'm in.
It puts us in a much stronger position to work with our allies in the kind of international coordinated intelligence activity that can shut down these networks. So this is a decision that I am very comfortable with, and I think the American people over time will recognize that it is better for us to stick to who we are, even when we're taking on an unscrupulous enemy. Okay. I'm sorry.
The previous administration sanctioned torture.
I believe that waterboarding was torture, and I think that whatever legal rationales were used, it was a mistake. Mark Nolan.
We are a torturing country, he just told the enemy.
Let me follow up, if I may, on Jake's question. Mm-hmm. Did you read the documents recently referred to by former Vice President Cheney and others saying that the use of so-called enhanced interrogation techniques not only protected the nation but saved lives. And if part of the United States were under imminent threat, could you envision yourself ever authorizing the use of those enhanced interrogation techniques?
I have read the documents. Now, they haven't been officially declassified and released, and so I don't want to go into the details of them.
Well, why don't you release them?
But here's what I can tell you, that the public reports and the public justifications for these techniques, which is that we got information from these individuals that were subjected to these techniques, doesn't answer the core question, which is, could we have gotten that same information without resorting to these techniques?
Ladies and gentlemen, lower him now. What he's saying there, by his omission, is that, in fact, we did get critical information that saved lives. Release the memos. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
Iraq still exist, and I'm very confident that
this is Obama. I'm Levin. Very short segment. You haven't missed a damn thing.
With Chris Hill, our new ambassador, having been approved and already getting his team in place.
Matter of fact, the commercials you hear and the breaks are far more informative, substantive, and interesting than this.
For an ultimate transfer after the national election.
And we'll be right back. Now enjoy the commercials. We'll be right back.
Inspector seems to think it is.
You know, politics in America changes very quick. And I'm a big believer that things are never as good as they seem and never as bad as they seem. You're talking to a guy who was 30 points down in the polls during a primary in Iowa. So I
Chip
never.
Reed asked him what he thought about Arlen Specter, and
I do think
he run roughshod over the Republicans, and also
has
any advice for the Republicans or something like that? Really a tough question.
In the American people that we're moving in the right direction, and that simply opposing our approach on every front is probably not a good political strategy.
Oh, really? Well, we need to get behind you, like Tony Bennett said.
Thank you, Mr. President. In a couple of weeks, you're going to be giving the commencement at Notre Dame. And as you know, this has caused a lot of controversy among Catholics who are opposed to your position on abortion. As a candidate, you vowed that one of the very first things you wanted to do was sign the Freedom of Choice Act, which, as you know, would eliminate federal, state, and local restrictions on abortion. And at one point in the campaign, when asked about abortion in life, you said that it was above, quote, above my pay grade. Now that you've been president for 100 days, obviously, your pay grade is a little higher than when you were a senator. Do you still hope that Congress quickly sends you the Freedom of Choice Act so you can sign it?
You know, my view on abortion, I think, has been very consistent. I think abortion is a moral issue and an ethical issue. I think that those who are pro-choice make a mistake when if they suggest, and I don't want to create straw men here, but I think there's some who suggest that this is simply an issue about women's freedom and that there's no other considerations. I think, look, this is an issue that people have to wrestle with, and families and individual women have to wrestle with. The reason I'm pro-choice is because I don't think women take that position casually. I think that they
you're more than pro-choice.
Struggle
Come on.
with these decisions each and every day.
Man up.
And I think they are
Man
in a
up
better
there,
position
Obama.
to make these decisions.
You're pro-after
than
abortion.
Members of Congress or a President of the United States, in consultation with their families, with their doctors,
with the federal government. It won't be their
clergy.
doctors. Will you be rationing abortions
so
like you'll be rationing kidney
position.
transplants?
The other thing
That's
that I
the
said
question.
consistently during the campaign is I would like to reduce the number of unwanted pregnancies